Welcome back to the CryptoWorld channel, everyone. My name is Josh, and right now, as Bitcoin continues with this break to the downside, new patterns are forming for both Bitcoin and Ethereum in the short term, which I'll talk about later in the video, so definitely stick around. First of all, starting off on the daily Bitcoin to US dollar chart, and right now the price of Bitcoin is still finding resistance at around 27.5k because obviously we've confirmed another rejection from that level. And as for significant support on the daily Bitcoin chart, we have this price range in between around 24,000 to 25.3k based on these previous highs flipping into new support. And if you're looking at the daily Bitcoin price oscillators, obviously over the last 1 week, these have been looking relatively neutral, showing very low momentum because first of all, the daily Bitcoin RSI is pretty much chopping around sideways while the daily Bitcoin MACD is currently very flat, showing very low momentum. So instead of expecting a significant move on the daily chart like this or like this, for example, I would simply continue to expect very low momentum price action. So price action, kind of like what we've seen over the last 1 week, is continued to be expected, at least in the somewhat shorter term here. And once again, as I've been saying almost every day since the beginning of this year, technically speaking, the price of Bitcoin is still within a larger multi-month long bullish trend. And obviously it is possible to see significant pullbacks within a larger bullish trend because first of all, we saw around a 22% pullback back during around February to March. And if you're measuring the current pullback from this local high, so far the price has pulled back around 16 to 17%, and a 22% pullback would take the price of Bitcoin all the way down towards around $24,000 per Bitcoin. And what's interesting is $24,000 is actually the technical price target for this symmetrical triangle pattern, which obviously has already confirmed the break to the downside here on the 8-hour time frame, and the bearish price target at 24,000 approximately, and this pattern would only get invalidated if we see a confirmed breakout back above 27.5k, which as of right now we have not yet seen. We have only seen rejections from that level. And now what's interesting is that even though this pattern is still currently in play with that active bearish price targets, we are also now seeing a bullish divergence form here on the 8-hour Bitcoin chart because obviously we have lower lows in the price of Bitcoin in the candle closes on the 8-hour time frame, while the 8-hour Bitcoin RSI is currently forming higher lows, which once again is a bullish divergence. And if this actually confirms, this means that we're technically due to see a reduced bearish momentum in the imminent shorter term, which usually means either choppy sideways price action like this or a slight bullish recovery, but not necessarily the invalidation of this pattern, because once again, for that, we need to see a confirmed breakout back above 27.5k. And now it is important to mention that at the time of recording this video, this potential bullish divergence is not yet confirmed, because in order to actually confirm this higher low in place in the RSI, we need to see at least one, but ideally a few 8-hour candle closes confirm in the green, because otherwise, if we do not see that, if we don't see a significant higher low put in place here in the RSI, then obviously as of right now, it is still possible to continue this shorter term bearish price action and essentially invalidate the formation of this bullish divergence if the RSI continues further to the downside. But either way, whether this confirms or not, at least for now, this is something to pay attention to moving forward in case it does end up confirming potentially soon. And once again, if it does confirm, it just means a pause in the short term from that bearish price action, but does not necessarily invalidate that bearish pattern. It just means that it might take longer before eventually getting to that price target unless we see an invalidation. But anyway, now zooming into the shorter term, this is on the 4-hour Bitcoin to US dollar chart, and obviously over the last 1 to 2 days, we did see a perfect rejection again from this area of resistance sitting in between 27.3k to 27.7k. And as of right now, the price of Bitcoin has fallen straight into this area area of support sitting in between around 26.2k approximately to around 26.6k. And obviously this support is mostly based on these previous lows, but if the price ends up confirming a break below around 26.2 to 26.1k, then in that case I'd simply be targeting these other areas of support here on the daily chart and also this price target for this pattern at around 24,000. And now just heading back to that 4-hour Bitcoin chart, we can see that the 4-hour Bitcoin RSI is currently on the edge of oversold territories. It isn't there just yet, which means we technically still have a little bit more room to the downside. But with that being said, the room to the downside in the imminent short term is somewhat limited. And as for the momentum in the 4-hour Bitcoin MACD, obviously over the last one day, this has shown a little bit more bearish momentum. But with that being said, the momentum is still historically low if you're looking compared to this previous price action. And this could be due to the fact that here on the 1-hour Bitcoin to US dollar chart, we do currently have an active bullish divergence currently playing out. And once again, a bullish divergence simply means reduced bearish momentum in the shorter term, especially on the smaller time frames. And so that just means expect some either neutral price action, so choppy sideways price action, or a slight bullish reversal just in the shorter term. Because remember, this is only on the 1-hour chart, and generally speaking, the smaller the pattern, the smaller the time frame, the quicker it plays out. So I would not expect this to really last for any longer than around a day. So basically over the next one day, I would not expect a lot of bearish price action and instead expect price action similar to this, what we've seen over the last half a day or so. And so that's basically the situation right now for Bitcoin in the short term. But getting into the Ethereum part of this video, this is on the daily ETH to US dollar chart. And right now, the price of ETH is still running into this area of support, sitting in between 1770 to 1820. And now, if we end up seeing a confirmed break below 1770 here on the daily time frame, then in that case, the next area of support based on this previous resistance and also this bit of support right here is sitting in between around 1650 to 1.7k. And what's interesting about that area of support is if the price pulls all the way back down to around 1650 to 1.7k, that would give us the exact same sized pullback to what we saw back here during around February to March. And obviously that pullback occurred within a larger multi-month long bullish trend. So of course it is possible to experience short-term pullbacks or short-term bearish trends within larger bullish trends, just like how it's possible to experience short-term bullish trends within larger bearish trends. And now if you're taking a look at the daily Ethereum price oscillators, these are still looking relatively neutral, as I've been saying over the last few days, because first of all, the daily Ethereum RSI, as it has been over the last 1 week, is essentially chopping around sideways, while the daily Ethereum MACD is very flat, showing very low momentum to either direction, at least in the short term here on the daily time frame. But now just zooming into some smaller time frames like this 4-hour ETH to US dollar chart, and right now the price of ETH is currently experiencing support at this price level at around 1760, which is a level of support I've been mentioning over the last few days. But if the price of ETH confirms a break below 1760, then in that case, the next area of short-term support is sitting in between around 1.7k to 1730. And these support levels are simply based on previous lows. And if you're looking for resistance, right now we have some short-term resistance in between around 1830 to 1850 approximately, based on these previous highs just here. And as for the 4-hour Ethereum price oscillators, these are still looking relatively neutral compared to past price action, because first of all, in the RSI, we have no real trend. We've just seen a large chop up and down over the last few days after this choppy sideways price range. And something similar can be said about the 4-hour Ethereum MACD. Obviously, over the last 1 day, this has flipped a little bit more bearish, but with that being said, it is still currently showing a relatively low momentum compared to some of this previous price action and these previous trends. So at the moment, just here on the 4-hour chart, this is pointing towards perhaps some more choppy sideways price action just in the shorter term. And now if you're zooming into some even smaller time frames, like for example, this 1 hour chart, we can see that right now the price of ETH has actually confirmed a short-term bullish divergence because we have seen lower lows in the price action in the 1 hour candle closes, while also confirming higher lows in the 1 hour Ethereum RSI, which once again is a bullish divergence, meaning we're due to see reduced bearish momentum in the imminent short term. But remember, this is only on the 1 hour chart, so I would not expect this to last very long, and instead I would expect this to mostly last for around 12 to 24 hours. So around the next 1 day, I would be expecting reduced bearish momentum, meaning price action like this, either some sideways price action or a slight bullish recovery, potentially over the next 1 day, but nothing too significant. And now, if you want to know how to make a lot of money in crypto, whether the price is bearish, bullish, or just chopping around sideways, then make sure to watch these videos popping up right here on your screen. The video in the top left shows you how to make money no matter where the price is going using artificial intelligence, and the video in the bottom left shows you how to make money during a choppy sideways price range using a simple method. But anyway, that's everything that I have to say for today. I really hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next video.